Hi guys, I'm Ryan Houston and welcome to my fly tying channel. This channel contains hundreds of different videos covering all manner of different patterns, techniques and styles of fly tying. There's something here to suit almost everybody, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, let's get on with the show. Hi guys, so we're going to tie another salmon fly tonight. This time it's another variation on a Willie Gunn. So it's a Cascade version of a Willie Gunn. So I'm using a gold Esmond Jury treble here. This one happens to be a size 10, but use whatever hook suits yourself. You could easily tie it on any black double, single, or gold double or single. So I'm using a red uni thread here in a 6/0. I'm going to start it on the hook. So for the tail of this fly, I'm going to use bucktail, which I have mixed in equal parts of red, orange and black. Sorry, not yellow, orange and black. I'm going to take a bunch of that, and if you want you can put it in a hair stacker. But what we're going to end up here with is a tail that's about twice the length of the fly or so. So I'm going to put it on at a slight angle so that then my tying thread rotates that up onto the top of the hook. Pull it in between the legs of the hook here and start to bind it down. Tag ends I'm going to lift up and I'm going to cut in with my scissors going along the shank, and that'll sort of taper them out a little bit. So a bit of flash in the tail. Now I suppose whatever flash suits yourself. I'm actually going to use an orange crystal hair here because I think it blends in well with the colour scheme of this fly, and it's not overstated. You could use gold as well, or pearl. So tie in one strand and fold it over. Trim that off the same length as the other one. Then I'm just going to hold them between the legs of the treble there and wrap backwards. If you want to get fancier you can put in tags and butts and all, but I don't think it requires it. So the body of the fly, we're going to go for gold. So use gold tinsel, or in this case I'm going to use a gold braid. So I'm going to use this braid here, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to thin it. So if I grab it, it sort of unravels itself, becomes thinner, so I can make a thinner type body. Tie that on and tie back to the point where my tail was starting. Keep it under tension, pull it forward. That should make us a sort of a smooth underbody. Trim that off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of varnish onto the body there and wrap into that while it's wet, and that'll help to adhere the braid down onto the body. Tie that off. Now you notice I've left quite a bit of room at the front because there's a couple of hackles, or if you want to be very fancy, 3 hackles can go on at the front. I'm going to go with 2 probably here. So we tied that off, folded it back and tied over it and trimmed it off. So now we need a wing. For the wing what I'm going to use is black fox mask, because I think that fox mask gives some of the best hair for this. This one, the yard hairs are just a little bit longer, so I'm just going to pull them out, pull out the rubbish from underneath, and then I'm going to sort of twist the little bunch and set it up for length. So I want it to go maybe another half as length of the body again back into that. So I'm just going to transfer, pinch it together, and then I'm going to cut my wing to the length that I want it to be. I've got a good square cut. I'm going to take a clear varnish and just dab that to the end, the cut end, that'll soak up slightly into it. I'm going to set that onto the hook and bind that down. And as you can see now, we have a nice flow from the wing into the tail. So, sticking with the Willie Gunn theme, which is the orange, yellow and black, I'm going to take an orange soft tackle, not an orange horse, a yellow soft tackle. I get some of this right. And so this little hackle here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip it back, because I really only want about one turn of this. Strip it back, then I'll find the center, fold the rest of this back here and nip the center out. I'm going to tie in on this little V here. This last little bit of stock that's available is where I want my turn of thread to go across. So across that, fold it back, and a couple of turns over that will hold that in place while we wrap it. So again, we're probably going to get one, maybe two turns out of this here. I hold it and then I pass it between finger and thumb as it wraps, and that will double it as it wraps. You can pre-double it before you wrap if you want, which is probably what I should have done, given that this is a treble and they're a little bit more difficult to work with without getting stabbed. A couple of turns across the stalk, fold the stalk back and tie over that, and that is our yellow hackle in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a orange badger hackle to give me the orange and the black. So I need one of the good marked center. If you don't have that, what you can do is do an orange and then a black hackle. But for handiness sake, I'm going to do this. So I'm going to pick one of these ones down here, which has a fairly pronounced black base to it. So I'll just strip it off back to the black base. I'm going to double this one. I have a techniques section. There should be a link at the start of this video to my techniques page, and in there you'll find a doubling video which may explain this in more detail. So same again, I've doubled, I've nipped off the tip, and then tie it in across the last little bit of stock again, fold it back and tie across that. So this one I'm probably going to get 2 to 3 turns in, but the first turn will be predominantly orange and then the black will start to come in on it to give me more of that Willie Gunn theme. That's one turn. Now it's starting into the black. I'm just folding with my finger and thumb. Tie across that, 2 turns, fold the stalk back and bind it down and snap it off. And that gives us our yellow, black and orange hackle Willie Gunn theme. So I'm going to add a couple of small jungle cock eyes to this. I'll take one from each side of my cape. Strip them back, and then I'll place it on up in here, tie it on the side and slightly above the parallel, the horizontal, and the same on this side over here. So when they're in place, then I'll just use the stems to just pull them down so that they're the same length. trim off the stalks, and then I'm going to super glue my tie-in thread for maybe 5-6 centimeters, and then I'm going to wrap that to create a head that should be fairly indestructible. Finish that and trim it off. So that is our Willie Gunn Cascade tied. What we need to do is put a coat of clear onto that head, but I want the super glue to dry, so Blue Peter job again. We'll take back one that we did earlier, and this one the glue has dried, so that will allow me just to use this sort of medium thick clear varnish. Use a real thin one, you'll have to put several coats on. The super glue seals the head, and therefore the varnish won't soak into it, and therefore it keeps that bit more shape. So that is our Willie Gunn Cascade version of one of the most deadly flies ever. So hopefully you liked what you've seen tonight. If you did, give us a like, subscribe, tell your friends, check out all the other videos on the channel. Until next time, tight lines. Thanks for watching.